What if I told you the two greatest players in football history were snubbed from the Ballon d'Or, but just made a comeback the world didn't see coming? Messi and Ronaldo, written off by critics, now storming back into the FIFPro XI race. How do they flip the narrative and silence the doubters again? Stay tuned. The twist behind this comeback will change how you see their legacy forever. We'll explain everything in this video step by step. Don't skip it. The football world is buzzing once again. Lionel Messi and Cristiano Ronaldo, two living legends, have turned the tables after being snubbed from the Ballon d'Or shortlist. Just when critics thought the era of these giants was fading, they've been named in the FIFPro World XI nominees. A thunderous reminder that greatness doesn't vanish, it roars back louder. Messi, fresh off a year of magical playmaking and leadership in MLS, continues to redefine what longevity means. His vision, his precision, his control, it's poetry dressed in football boots. And on the other side, Cristiano Ronaldo, the relentless machine of ambition, lighting up Saudi Arabia with goal after goal, still outworking players half his age. The Ballon d'Or panel may have looked past them, but the players, the fans, and the game itself haven't. FIFPro is voted by fellow professionals, the people who feel the difficulty of what these two achieve every match day. It's respect from peers, acknowledgement from the pitch, validation from those who know the grind. In a season dominated by new names and emerging stars, Messi and Ronaldo have reminded the world that legacy isn't just about the past, it's about consistency, hunger, and defiance. Two tight ends standing tall once more in football's grand theatre. The stage may change, but the spotlight still finds them. The football world is buzzing once again. Lionel Messi and Cristiano Ronaldo, two living legends, have turned the tables after being snubbed from the Ballon d'Or shortlist. When the announcement came that neither of them had made the cut, the sporting world was stunned. For over 15 years, these two have been the heartbeat of football's biggest nights, the subjects of endless debate, admiration and rivalry. Every award ceremony, every record list, every highlight reel, it was impossible to imagine one without the other. And yet the Ballon d'Or snub seemed to mark a closing chapter. Critics and pundits began whispering about a new era, about changing tides and fresh names taking the throne. But football, as it often does, had other plans. Now the story has shifted again. Messi and Ronaldo have been nominated for the FIFPro World XI, an honour that carries a different kind of weight. This recognition doesn't come from journalists or committees. It comes from fellow players, those who battle on the same fields, who understand the intensity, the discipline and the brilliance it takes to perform at the highest level. It's a nod from the professionals who have seen up close what separates the great from the extraordinary. To be named among the top 11 by peers is not a sentimental gesture. It is acknowledgement earned through continued relevance, consistency and mastery, even when time tries to push you aside. For Messi, the nomination caps a year of reinvention. Leaving Europe for Major League Soccer was supposed to be the soft landing of a glorious career, a graceful descent. Instead, it became another stage for magic. His arrival transformed Inter Miami from a struggling side into a global spectacle. Stadium sold out, viewership records broke, and opponents found themselves trapped in the same old spell. A single pass from Messi could dismantle an entire defense. At 38, he isn't sprinting as much, but he doesn't need to. His mind moves faster than the ball, his timing sharper than ever. The calm composure with which he dictates games shows that genius doesn't fade, it evolves. Across the continent, Cristiano Ronaldo continues to embody a different kind of excellence, fueled by relentless drive and unyielding physicality. In Saudi Arabia, he's not slowing down, he's rewriting what past your prime means. Every match, every goal celebration, every training clip radiates his obsession with perfection. His statistics remain elite, his conditioning unmatched, and his influence undiminished. While many doubted his choice to move outside Europe's top leagues, Ronaldo turned it into another platform to dominate. The goals haven't stopped, the hunger hasn't dimmed. His leadership continues to set standards for younger players who now share the pitch with a man who has shaped modern football's expectations of greatness. Together, Messi and Ronaldo's inclusion in the FIFPro XI nomination serves as a statement, not of nostalgia, but of endurance. It tells the world that the legends who defined an era aren't fading quietly. They're still dictating the rhythm of the game. Messi, fresh off a year of magical playmaking and leadership in MLS, continues to redefine what longevity means. At an age when most players fade into retirement or coaching, he remains the pulse of every match he touches. The move to Inter Miami was supposed to be a curtain call, but it became a renaissance. From the moment he stepped onto American soil, the atmosphere around football in the United States changed. Stadiums filled with pink shirts, chants echoed in cities that had never known football fever like this, and every touch of the ball carried that unmistakable anticipation only Messi can generate. He didn't just join a club, he ignited a culture. Within weeks, ticket prices soared. International broadcasters turned their eyes to MLS, and suddenly American football had its first global superstar performing at the peak of artistry. On the pitch, his influence has been surgical. The way he slows time in possession, scanning, orchestrating, and threading passes through invisible seams in the defense remains unmatched. No wasted motion, no unnecessary flair, just precision and purpose. His understanding of space is beyond logic. Defenders know what's coming but still can't stop it. Even surrounded by younger, faster players, he dictates the tempo with intelligence and vision. His left foot continues to speak a language few can interpret. The passes are as poetic as ever, the goals measured and deliberate. Each assist, each feint, each glance over the shoulder reaffirms why the world calls him a phenomenon, not a phase. Beyond the numbers and highlights, what defines this chapter of Messi's career is control, not just of the ball, of his narrative. After years in Europe, after every trophy imaginable, he chose a new stage, not to retire, but to evolve. He carries himself like an artist in full command of his craft, unhurried, unaffected by the noise of doubters. His leadership style, Miami, is quiet but absolute. Younger teammates describe his presence as transformative, not through loud speeches or drama, but through relentless excellence. The game bends around his decisions. Players elevate simply by sharing the pitch with him, learning from his precision and calm under pressure. What makes this period fascinating is how he balances ease and intensity. Watching him now, there's an almost deceptive tranquility to his play. The body language of a man unbothered, the touch of someone who's been here 1,000 times before, yet underneath that calm, there's the same competitive fire that once burned under Barcelona's lights and on Argentina's world-conquering nights. He doesn't chase validation, he commands it through performance. Every time he threads a pass that splits defenders, every time he glides past a challenge, he reminds the world that greatness doesn't retire, it recalibrates. The stage may have shifted, but the craft remains pure. Longevity for Messi isn't about survival, it's about sustained brilliance that adapts to every era without losing its soul. And on the other side, Cristiano Ronaldo, the relentless machine of ambition, lighting up Saudi Arabia with goal after goal, still outworking players half his age. His journey is not a farewell tour, but a continuation of a philosophy built on discipline, precision, and an insatiable appetite for dominance. When Ronaldo made the move to Al Nassr, many thought it signaled the decline of a legend, a final paycheck before the curtain fell. Instead, he turned that narrative into a showcase of persistence, proving that obsession with excellence does not fade with age. It intensifies. Each match in the Saudi Pro League has become another exhibition of his trademark power, positioning, and hunger. He doesn't just play, he sets a standard, forcing everyone around him to rise to his level. Every training session becomes a headline because his preparation is as fierce as his performance. Teammates describe him as the first to arrive and the last to leave, the embodiment of consistency. He treats every goal as if it's his first, every win as if it's redemption. That mindset has kept him relevant in a football landscape obsessed with youth and novelty. His body, sculpted by years of uncompromising discipline, still responds with the sharpness of a man in his prime. Sprint after sprint, header after header, celebration after celebration. He radiates defiance against time itself. The goals keep flowing not from luck, but from a system perfected over decades. Study, train, execute, repeat. What separates Ronaldo is not just physical endurance, but psychological endurance. The pressure he has carried for nearly 2 decades would break most athletes. Every move scrutinized, every game a referendum on his legacy, yet he thrives in that chaos. He has turned external criticism into fuel, building a career on silencing doubt with performance. When others slow down, he accelerates. When others rest, he recalculates. The competitiveness is not an act, it's the core of his existence. He has built his identity around never accepting decline, and that defiance continues to produce results. His presence in Saudi Arabia has elevated the league's visibility, bringing global attention and reshaping how the football world perceives its emerging markets. Even in a new environment surrounded by unfamiliar faces and different rhythms, Ronaldo commands attention through authority and output. Younger players watch him train and realize what professionalism truly looks like. His standards never waver, and that influence stretches far beyond goals. The aura remains that unmistakable mix of confidence, precision, and theatrical intensity. Every match feels like a statement, every finish a message. That legacy is not inherited. It is maintained through relentless effort. Ronaldo's career at this stage stands as living proof that greatness is not a moment in time, but a continuous act of will. He has redefined what aging in football means, turning experience into an advantage and proving that hunger can outlast years. Each game he plays is not just a continuation of his story. It's an assertion of control over his own evolution, a reminder that the pursuit of perfection never ends. The Ballon d'Or panel may have looked past them, but the players, the fans, and the game itself haven't. FIFPro is voted by fellow professionals, the people who feel the weight of competition, the exhaustion of training, the pain of defeat, and the brief euphoria of victory. It's an award grounded not in popularity or media spectacle, but in respect from equals, those who see beyond headlines and statistics. When players around the world cast their votes, they recognize not just skill, but endurance, influence, and consistency. For Messi and Ronaldo to still command that respect in a sport driven by constant turnover speaks volumes about their sustained dominance. These nominations are a reflection of memory and observation combined. Professionals who have faced them, studied them, and still see them as benchmarks of excellence. Every generation of footballers produces prodigies, But few transcend the sport's generational divide. Messi and Ronaldo belong to that rare category where admiration extends even from rivals. Younger players who grew up idolizing them now share the same field, and the reverence hasn't diminished. FIFPro's acknowledgement is not nostalgia, it's recognition of impact that remains current. Even when surrounded by rising stars from Europe, South America and Africa, their names persist because what they contribute is not easily replaced. They remain measuring sticks for mentality, precision, and endurance. That persistence defines why fellow professionals continue to include them among the elite. The process behind the FIFPro XI captures a more democratic essence of footballing respect. Journalists can shape narratives, fans can drive trends, but players understand effort from within. They know how it feels to chase shadows created by Messi's footwork or to be outjumped by Ronaldo in a crucial moment. They've experienced firsthand the tactical adjustments demanded when facing them, the sense of inevitability that no system can fully neutralize. That experience translates into acknowledgement. Every vote cast for them is layered with personal encounters, grudging admiration, and silent respect for their consistency across decades. For the fans, the nominations serve as validation that the legends they've supported still belong among the greats. The Ballon or omission sparked debate, fueling talk that perhaps the world had moved on, that new heroes had replaced old icons, yet the FIFPro nominations exposed the gap between perception and reality. Those who actually share the stage with Messi and Ronaldo continue to view them as unmatched. It's not sentimentality, it's precision judgment by peers who have the most informed vantage point. The recognition carries a purity that transcends commercial bias. At its core, this moment underlines the enduring connection between greatness and respect. Awards come and go, but acknowledgement from within the sport carries permanence. Messi and Ronaldo are not being rewarded for nostalgia. They are being honoured because their excellence is still tangible. When the people who dedicate their lives to the same craft cast their votes and still look upward to find these two names, it confirms that their standard remains the reference point for what elite football truly represents. In a season dominated by new names and emerging stars, Messi and Ronaldo have reminded the world that legacy isn't just about the past, it's about consistency, hunger, and defiance. The landscape of football has shifted, with young prodigies rising in every league, each generation introducing its own flavour of speed, technique, and flair. Social media amplifies every emerging talent, turning brief flashes of brilliance into global moments. Yet amidst the noise, two figures continue to stand firm, unshaken by time or trend. They are no longer the newcomers or the revolutionaries they once were, but symbols of endurance in a sport obsessed with the new. Every appearance, every goal, every assist from them carries weight because it resists the assumption that greatness must fade. Messi and Ronaldo have reached a stage where their competition is no longer with each other, but with history itself. Every record they break is a record they already set. The hunger that drives them has evolved. It's not about proving something to critics, but about sustaining an identity forged through relentless excellence. In their performances, there is a sense of defiance that transcends rivalry. They are not chasing headlines, they are preserving a standard. The sport may move faster now, tactics may shift, analytics may define modern play, but what they deliver remains timeless: intelligence, precision, and the will to win. For Messi, the defiance is quiet and cerebral. His game speaks through rhythm and awareness, manipulating tempo until the match bends to his design. Even in a league less competitive than Europe's elite, he demonstrates that artistry does not depend on setting but on vision. Each touch becomes a reminder that control, when perfected, can humble chaos. He continues to rewrite what mastery looks like at the twilight of a career, proving that creativity doesn't expire with age. Ronaldo's defiance, in contrast, burns loud and physical. His body remains a monument to discipline, his expression of competitiveness raw and visible. Every sprint, celebration, and post-match statement carries the same message: the standard will not drop. While others view age as decline, he treats it as an opponent to outwork. His longevity is engineered, the result of decades of self-surveillance and uncompromising standards. That commitment resonates across generations of players who see that greatness is not a momentary burst of brilliance, but a sustained refusal to yield. Their simultaneous persistence redefines legacy as an active pursuit rather than a reflection of the past. They stand as living proof that dominance in sport isn't just built on talent, but on durability, the ability to stay relevant, stay feared, and stay effective long after the world expects you to fade. While younger stars chase their ascent, Messi and Ronaldo remain fixtures of comparison, their names unavoidably present in every discussion of excellence. Theirs is not just a story of success, but of unrelenting endurance, showing that true legacy is not a memory preserved, but a standard continuously upheld. Thank you for listening, and don't forget to like and subscribe.